Greetings, Eric Backer, naturopath from New Zealand, author of Candida Crusher. Thanks for checking out my video. I got lots and lots of emails from people, questions, particularly through my YouTube channel, this channel you're looking at now. Here's one from a lady in New York, and she's asking me, how do you get Candida? Well, you don't really get Candida from, a shop or Facebook or Walmart, or it's not something you really buy or you get given usually from somebody, like a sexual transmitted disease. It's something that you naturally have. So I want to make it quite clear that it's not something that's generally given to you. It is true that some yeast infections can be transferred sexually, but it's much more common for a person to have yeast in their body which will go haywire or crazy when the opportunity is right for it to do so. And we call it an opportunistic organism for that reason. So yeast, like any other bug, it wants to be fed, it wants to be loved and cared for and, be told it's nice and all this kind of stuff. But it looks for food. It looks for opportunity. It exploits weakness. So try and understand that your immune system is really what keeps you from getting a yeast overgrowth in the first place. So if there's a vulnerability there, then the yeast will obviously look for that vulnerability and exploit it. And that's how you get Candida. When we mean get Candida, I assume that you're referring to Candida overgrowth, or just too much yeast in the body. So there are many different types of yeast that live inside the body and on the body, and they live in perfect harmony with many other types of bacteria, which keep them in good shape. So the levels are all kept down. But again, when that's breached, so getting Candida is something you can do internally by, for example, regularly taking the oral contraceptive pill, the birth control pill, or hormone replacement therapy, or chemotherapy drugs, or corticosteroids, especially inhaled steroids. You get tongue yeast infection, with that yeast overgrowth with that. There are many different types of pharmaceutical medications that can predispose you to it. Lifestyle can allow you to get Candida, especially when you're under high stress, because then your body's going to produce its own steroid, which causes immunosuppression. Not unlike, taking a steroid for asthma, for example, or injecting a steroid if you've got, for example, shoulder pain. You might get a steroid shot in the shoulder, which is a crazy thing to do, but some people still. So as you can see, it's a vulnerability and it's exploitation of the yeast that will predetermine whether a person will have a yeast infection or not. Strong immune system and not taking any pharmaceutical medications put you in a very good chance of not contracting a yeast infection. Low stress lifestyle, understanding the triggers, which I've spoken about quite widely on this Candida Crusher YouTube channel. Understanding those concepts will put you in a position that you won't get Candida. However, high stress, drinking alcohol, taking medications, you could be a sitting duck for Candida like I was when I was in my 20s and I had no idea about what Candida was. So that's how you get Candida, exploitation and vulnerability. Okay, so Candida is not a bad thing to have. Many people have it normally occurring in their body, but it's when it gets the upper hand. And as I say, if you've got Candida, try and find out what breached that vulnerability. Why did you get it in the first place? Smart people try and work out the causes, and silly people forget the causes and only treat the symptoms. So I hope that answers your question from New York. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to click on the link below if you haven't already got my report. Thank you.